Hi all, welcome to another day in the life of DevRel. I'm continuing with preparation for an upcoming community call. In the previous video, we left off after creating a new repo for this purpose. Today, I'll be preparing a new slide deck after duplicating the one used in the previous community call. I'll be grabbing info from HIPs, updating the slide deck with placeholder speakers, taking screenshots to add the slides, grabbing official brand assets, updating speaker notes. Then I'll switch from slides back to the GitHub repo for a little bit to update the GitHub issue to add a to-do list. And so as to make the process easier to repeat the next time, also update the GitHub issue form YAML file as well. Okay, let's begin. All right, so let's do a recap. So the objective of this session was to prepare for the technical community calls, and more specifically to prepare the slide deck, but did it slightly more than that. And yeah, so here's the recap. So it started off with this, right? This was created in the previous session. So we slotted in one additional hip that was confirmed, and basically filled out more details in this sort of pattern over here. Then the other thing we did was extend the issue creation template such that this, would appear automatically. So let's actually take a look at that in action. Right. So if I go to new issue, and then I do get started, then now I get this checklist, and I don't have to do anything. Like it just leave it as is, and it'll be created in the new ticket. Everything else is the same, right? And then so once I have this, I have gone and taken a community call that was done last year in October, and doing this one, kind of copy pasting the slides for the most part. So this is the same. This is different, right? So added a new slide where we have links for everything, and the idea is that there'll be some sort of set of QR codes for people to scan in case they want to tune in on a different medium. So these are the options that I think we will have live. These three will be basically multiplexed, so single source but multiple outputs. And then this I'll be doing manually during the session itself. I'll be tweeting what's going on, basically. Next up we have intros. So that's going to stay the same, but then we'll have 3 speakers that are not these people, so need their photos and their real names in this case. So this is just, I think, company names at the moment. That's what I've been provided. Yeah, okay, so then that's my intro slide, and then this is what we'll cover. Slightly different format from the one before because it's more hip-centric than the previous ones. Shoutouts, I'll have to do some research, so there's a to-do item over there. This is a new slide. So basically electric capital. Actually, I think I'll start off with this, right? So we have show the graph for Hedera on the electric capital report, and then say, hey, we want to influence this. So here are the steps. So, oh, hang on, mix them up. So hang on. Okay, so the first slide is about Hedera community calls. So basically an orientation in the new repo. So saying, you can just propose an agenda in an issue as long as you follow this format. It should look something like this in the end. And then when an actual one happens, then you have a table of previous meetings. For example, this one, right? And actually, maybe I should take a new screenshot of that. Come to think of it. Now that we have this updated, copy, and I'll just replace this with this. All right. All right, there we go. So next up we have the developer report, better known as the electric capital report. So show how Hedera is faring in the graphs, and then show 3 steps to take. This low hanging fruit. This one's slightly more involved, but yeah, 2 different actions to take, call to action, I should say. And then talk about that. Just want to emphasize that we have a tag, and emphasize that you have a good chance of being heard and answered on Stack Overflow. So encourage people to use that. The dev community use that. And then there's also another repeat saying, hey, you know, there's lots of chat, but if you really want to get support, use the forum. And that's it for my slides, apart from this shout out, which is a to-do. So most of it is done. So then, you know, these 3 slides for speaker number 1, these 3 slides for speaker number 2, and these 3 slides for speaker number 3. For them, there's a to-do item to get all of these things in place. And then, of course, also need, you know, their actual content. And this slide is just a placeholder for it. If speakers choose to use their own slide deck, that's fine as well. But it might be easier to compile it all just from a, you know, less fiddling about during the live stream thing. All right, then finally is the outro. You know, just to wrap up, to repeat what was on the intro, topics to cover, and then questions and thanks. And that's it. That's the slide deck. So that's what we got. That's what I've done today. Prepared the slide deck for the community calls, and also, you know, did a few things to update the repo itself, you know, with the template as well as the README. So yeah, that's it for today.